Read Alliance was created to improve the educational trajectory of at-risk kindergarten and first grade students through one-to-one tutoring and foundational reading skills. For typical Read Alliance students from low-income homes in New York City's most disadvantaged communities, the learning stops when the school day ends. The result? 60% of the children in inner-city school districts nationwide read below grade level. This includes a large proportion of New York City's public school population. Without intervention, the achievement gap between these at-risk students and their peers will continue to grow with detrimental effects on their accomplishments later in life. Studies show that children who aren't reading proficiently by grade 3 are 4 times less likely to graduate from high school than their reading proficient peers. The cost of academic failure, both to the children who fail to achieve their potential and to society, which bears the burden of that loss, is staggering. Read Alliance works to shrink the achievement gap in reading. We use a structured curriculum that works with our proven one-to-one tutoring model. We also provide ongoing support for teachers and tutors involved in the program. Finally, we use data collection and analysis to inform and enhance our existing program as well as classroom instruction. All of these factors help our students gain an average of a year's growth in reading skills, regardless of their beginning level. What makes our program especially unique is that teens are recruited and trained to provide the tutoring. To this end, Read Alliance really prepares 2 at-risk populations for continued academic and personal achievement. As the second largest employer of teens in New York City, our tutors gain critical college, career, and life skills. Therefore, it is important for us to have access to all of the elementary schools which need our services, as well as high school students who can serve as tutors and mentors for us. One of the most unique things about Read Alliance is that it's an early intervention program. Rather than waiting for students and their communities to bear the burden of the achievement gap, Read Alliance strategically invests in the future. It's well established that students' early reading proficiency levels are related to later academic performance. A recent op-ed piece in the New York Times quantified the net benefit to the economy of every high school graduate. According to the authors, studies show that a typical high school graduate will obtain higher employment and earnings, be less likely to draw on public assistance, and is also less likely to become involved in the criminal justice system. Additionally, as a result of their higher paying employment, the typical graduate will contribute more in tax revenues over their lifetime. Therefore, investing in dropout prevention efforts more than pays for itself. In addition to using a proven curriculum that yields impressive results, our teen tutors are another key to our success. Selected youth attend training to learn how to use our curriculum, work with young children, and succeed on the job. Once trained, teens then become paid tutors, working after school or during the summer. By employing teens as tutors, we're providing them with valuable career and personal experience and benefiting the students they help as well. One of our tutors articulated it perfectly. She said that because of the age difference, the students feel more like an older sibling or cousin is helping them. Because of that level of familiarity, there's a lot of trust and comfort, which contributes to learning success and an overall positive environment. Over the last several years, the students who've participated across all program sites in Read Alliance have consistently achieved an average full year's growth in reading. Since our founding in the year 2000, Read Alliance has successfully served over 10,000 kindergarten and first grade students. In addition, we've had continued success with our teen tutors. Since 2008, over 2,800 teens have been employed as reading tutors in our program. Given the current state of the economy, the number of paying jobs that Read Alliance is able to provide inner-city teens is impressive. In fact, we're second only to the Summer Youth Employment Program in the number of teens we employ. While the paying job in and of itself is a great benefit to our teens, the personal growth they experience as committed and responsible tutors is an asset to them as they seek employment beyond our program and mature into young adults. Read Alliance believes that early literacy is everyone's problem. It's often hard for people to see beyond their own front door. They may wonder, how is my life impacted by whether the kid across the street can read or not? It's simple. A typical high school graduate will obtain higher employment and earnings, resulting in a 50 to 100% increase in lifetime income over their non-graduating peers. They'll be less likely to draw on public assistance and are also not as likely to become involved in the criminal justice system. Add poverty to the mix, and a student is 13 times less likely to graduate on time than their more affluent peers. But by investing less than $900 in a student tutor pair, we're able to bring at-risk students up to their grade level in reading. Not only does that small investment give a child a fair chance at success in school and in life, but it also saves society the financial and social costs of failure. Our track record and the individual stories of success are among our major accomplishments. For instance, there was a little boy who was painfully shy, and because of his lack of reading skills, he was in danger of being left behind academically. Then, Read Alliance started a program at his school. On the first day, he entered the room crying, kicking, and screaming. By the second week, that little boy was reading. And just as important, he wasn't feeling nervous or shy anymore. Cynthia, our program manager who works with him, describes him as a butterfly that had finally come out of his cocoon. We hear stories like this one every day because children are learning more than just how to read. They're also gaining confidence and developing a love of learning. Recent New York City Department of Education budget cuts and Read Alliance financial constraints have been a hindrance to the number of children we've been able to serve. This challenges us because if Read Alliance were institutionalized within a school system, all children who need critical intervention would have it available to them. Without broader reach, we must continually be creative in the ways that we work with schools and partners. For example, this past summer, Read Alliance partnered with community-based organizations that were hosting their own summer programs. Since they were in the schools already or had buildings of their own, we simply ran our programs in conjunction with theirs. Further, we leveraged our relationships to combine children from different schools under one roof. Yet despite our determination and creativity, this remains an ever-increasing challenge for us. If we had more resources, we'd be able to serve more students and employ more teens. Because of recent budget cuts and financial restraints, our program growth has stagnated despite increased demand for our services. The recent institution of the Common Core standards have raised the bar for language arts standards and pushed more rigorous reading expectations upon younger students. Many educators in the elementary schools recognize the urgency of having their younger students master the foundational reading skills. They understand that it's necessary to develop a strong base before their students can move on to the more complex reading skills expected of them later on. We were recently approached by 3 new elementary school principals who are eager to have us provide reading intervention to their students. But because of limited resources, we unfortunately could not serve those students. We want to make sure this doesn't happen in the future. One of our long-term goals is to be a louder voice for early literacy, both in New York City and across the country. Read Alliance is an organization whose first priority is direct service. Because of that, it's been a challenge to allocate the resources necessary to launch broader awareness campaigns about literacy and to reach a larger base of supporters. Given the free platforms available through new media, we've been implementing cost-effective strategies, but still lack the resources to produce more traditional forms of communication. We know that without a holistic approach that encompasses new and traditional mediums, organizations like ours cannot effectively educate the public or build their support base. If you share our vision of reading intervention for the success of at-risk children, please invest in our future by partnering with us today.